Hello, policy peeps. My name is Nathan, and that's Brandon from the Johns Hopkins Science Policy and Diplomacy Group. And in this new video series, we want to address the importance of scientists in policy making. And what better way to do that than ask our very own students? Let's go! In this episode, we want to discuss the beauty of life in this nation. I'm talking, of course, about in vitro fertilization. First of all, what year and what major are you in?
I'm freshman in mechanical engineering.
First year, and I'm economics.
Grad student. I'm a first year PhD student in chemical engineering.
Junior and I'm majoring in public health.
Have you ever heard about IVF or in vitro fertilization?
I have not, no.
Yeah, I have heard of it. I just don't really remember it, to be honest. I've heard of it.
I know what it is, but I'm no expert.
I heard it, but I don't have detailed information about that.
Oh, want to learn about it?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Perfect. So, facts. IVF or in vitro fertilization is actually a technique in which egg cells from a woman are taken, sperm cells from a man, they're then fertilized inside a laboratory, and then implanted back into the woman so that she can become pregnant. Do you know that?
Yeah, that's nice.
What percentage of the American population is infertile? Do you know that?
Let's say like 10%.
23%?
23%? So you're saying about 1 in 4.
Maybe a little lower.
You have no hope for humanity.
Maybe 1 out of every 5 people.
Probably like 5%.
Facts. About 9.7% of all women and about 9% of all men in the United States are actually infertile between the age of 15 and 49. Think that's high, low?
That's a lot higher than I expected.
If you would find out that you cannot get babies, do you think that you would resort to IVF?
Well, personally, I'm not a big fan of babies. I prefer like pets, but I know that lots of people would resort to IVF, and I personally had some people in my life who weren't able to have babies, and they were really upset about it. And they had IVF, and now their son is, I think, in first grade. So
Difficult question, I know.
I mean, yeah, I want kids someday, so probably.
I would definitely consider it, but there are also other options like adoption that I would consider.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Something? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm interested in adopting one day.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's a cool thing, and if I had to use it, I'd use it in a heartbeat.
Think adoption is something that you would consider at some points?
Yeah, they're both equally admirable things to do for sure.
My next question for you, do you have any idea when the first IVF born baby was born?
I have no information on that, but I'll guess around like 1980s.
I have no idea.
Guess?
19... Actually, maybe like 2000s.
I have no idea. I'm guessing something like the 80s or something.
I actually don't know how old IVF is. I'm gonna say like 1980, 1980 something.
Facts. The first ever IVF born baby was born in 1978. So the technique is more than 45 years old.
Yeah, that's surprising actually. Yeah.
In the United States of America, do you think that IVF is legal in every state? Illegal? And is it insured in every state?
I would guess no. Not legal in every state, and probably not insurance covered in every state.
I think it's legal, but not covered everywhere. I've been hearing that it's for some reason, a debate on its legality, which makes no sense to me, but I think it's legal as of now.
I feel like it's been legal in every state, but it could be changing. Insurance? I don't think insurance covers.
Well, facts. United States, IVF is legal in every state. However, only 13 states have a mandate that dictates that the insurance should cover it. And Maryland is actually one of those states.
That's good. That's good.
It's clear that not all the states are on the same page about IVF. So, do you think that somehow researchers can help in this debate to make people pick a side?
Yeah, since like it's like a rational topic, I think like people can conduct research about how not being able to have a baby affects people's lives, and then this can be supported with additional research on IVF and like how successful the technology is, what are like some pros and cons. I think we can rationalize it and like make decisions accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important. I had no idea about it. And those 13 states, like, I feel like I mean, I didn't even know that about Maryland, so
Mm.
it definitely should be talked about more. I didn't realize it was this old. I didn't know that.
I think if more people, had information about what IVF is, I feel like a lot of people don't know what it is. Maybe, I guess how it can be beneficial, things like that. I'm sure we could get more policy to just more evidence for why it would be helpful.
I don't think researchers can do much with policy, especially in our polarized nation. Gotta have strong candidates that will just set it into law and everyone will forget about it eventually. Because it's nothing for most people's lives. I don't know why anyone cares what other people are doing.
I think just educating people. I mean, maybe that's part of research, but learning more about it, but also then telling people is important.
So, how do you think they can convince politicians to pick a direction for IVF? What can researchers do here, you think?
I don't know. I think we just need to hear more about the benefits of IVF, success stories, just so people know that it's something with a lot of potential.
I think that's something that goes on every day, but politicians they don't really change their opinions like that.
When talking to a politician, I think they would point out that people are upset about this. And then afterwards, they need to point out that this is technically the same thing as having a baby when you can have a baby. Because I feel like politicians can have moral concerns when it comes to technologies like that. So I think that needs to be addressed as well. And of course, the success rates, that's important.
As you can see, IVF is a technical subject which has recently become a point of political debate. Some people know a lot about it, some people don't. And that's fine, as long as you always check your facts and pick your policies.